All right, who didn't pack the food?
I remember the basket on the desk.
So do I. I put the soybean steaks in. It must be here. You guys are unreal. It's not my fault. Whose fault is it?
I've always wondered why Australian soaps, they always have words to their theme tunes. All the British ones are just like tunes. And all the Australian ones have got like...
Why can't the Australians build sets that don't wobble?
Profound questions, these. Oh, here's some more. Why are most sitcoms set in semis with built-in carports, drinks cabinets and Vickers? Why is everyone called darling? And why are there no jokes?
You can tell anything that's on between 7:30 and 9 o'clock, and it's a situation comedy, is 10 to 1 is going to be rubbish.
French Fields, yeah, Home Sweet Home, James, you know, it's all the same.
And it's so offensive. It's like the racial stereotype, the sort of big boobs, fanar, you know, and like slapping people's asses, and it's all, you know, hoo, and out the door, you know.
Dear Mr. Brown, you have got the job.
Oh, great, man. Well, let's celebrate, shall we? Any fancy an old Scots lady? We'll have to look out for blowbacks. Just not make your ankles swell.
Ross Abbott, hello, you know, ridiculous stereotypes. Yes, that's right, you know.
May I ask what is going on here?
In the great words of Rabbi Lionel Blue, roses are red, heather is blue. I've got the job, so trussocks to you.
British television is so tacky. You know, you've got this Wheel of Fortune where you can win 25 pence, you know. The reason all these game shows were so popular in America is because they had all these massive prizes and really, you know, there was a lot of incentive for the people to win. And then you put them on British television and you win a blankety-blank checkbook and pen.
The makeup man on the new series of Star Trek was under so much pressure to create something different. Mr. Spock now has a pointed blank. Of course you can.
Yeah, nudger.
Do whatever you think's right.
That's rude.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, Colin. My mum will be watching.
She'd better be, because that kind of television is about attracting audiences. It doesn't really have any other justification for its existence. It's prime time. But surely the massive expansion of television during the 80s into all day, all night, 4 channels plus cable plus satellite, surely that's created opportunities to provide some riveting broadcasting.
7.
Well, didn't just have the right angle on the pink, and to be honest, he couldn't have finished in a worse position.
They've got all these extra hours of TV, so they fill them in with all these action time productions like Runway and all these going for goal things and what have you. Gordon Burns and people like that.
That's only part of it. The 80s have also given us youth telly. That's youth. Y-O-O-F. Youth.
I hate that word, youth. I mean, all these programmes are aimed at youths.
On last week's reportage, we brought you some exclusive clips from Soviet television's equivalent to our programme called Under 16 and Over. We showed you some clips from Russian gang killings and also the expose of a DJ who dared to be drunk on duty in a supposedly alcohol-free disco. Well, we've got more to show you this week thanks to popular demand. And also live in the office, we'll have some real live Russians to speak about their TV out there. But first of all, our first...
Welcome to Hey Wow. This is a programme that's different. It's not only for you, young people, kids, youth, whatever, it's by you. It's your input that's going to make it. Later on, we've got great music from Lufthansa Terminal. We've got Mime from Alternative Car Park. We've got some amazing Greek television commercials. Shut up! Can't you? For God's sake, I can hardly hear myself think. The first issue makes people here very angry indeed. Unemployment.
Oh, not unemployment.
Yes, unemployment.
We've done unemployment. When there was nothing in the box, the 80s offered an alternative, the video, cinema in your own home, and what a feast of filmic entertainment the 80s gave us. There were 2 kinds of commercial cinema available, British and American. British cinema was really what in the 60s and 70s would have been television, but in the 80s TV couldn't afford it without a cinema tie-in. So there were lots of lovely, safe, cosy costume dramas, done rather cheaply, which meant that they were done for the most part indoors. Nice and cheap that, no car chases, just a few cushions.
I somehow think that you feel more at home with me in a room. Never in the real country like this.
Do you know, I think you're right. When I do think of you, it is always in a room.
American cinema, on the other hand, was mostly special effects. Huge exploding things, great car chases, not many cushions, hugely expensive to produce, and designed to appeal to vast numbers of people. So it couldn't afford to be subtle.
See, I got this problem. Cops don't like me, so I don't like cops.
But it was great to sit and watch something like RoboCop and work off your aggression against everything we've been talking about for the last hour. Don't repress your rage, just load, aim and fire. Next week, Jonathan Ross will be here to explain why everything in the 80s was actually wonderful. So from me, Muriel Gray, bye-bye. The 80s in the Dock, the case for the prosecution, was produced in Manchester by Peter Everett. The reporter was Wendy Pilmer, and technical presentation was by Geordie Morell.
Okay, Funzo. Okay, let's get out of here.
Radio 1. Coming soon at breakfast, the Person Poll of 89. The last 12 months have been truly historic and memorable for all sorts of reasons. But who do you think was the Person of the Year?
After hours of shooting and facing a line of troops, the crowd is still here. They're shouting, "Stop the killing and down with the government."
And now almost 50 years have passed, and some have wondered all these years why we stayed in Berlin. We stayed because we just knew, all Americans, that this day would come.
Потомки вынесут свой вердикт о значении события, которое совершается на наших глазах.
Kate Adie, George Bush and Mikhail Gorbachev, just 3 of the nominations for the Person of the Year. You can vote on The Breakfast Show next week. Simon Mayo.
Start your day with The Breakfast Show.